motion to approve the minutes of August 14th meeting. Second, Ms. Johnson. Please read the motion. We need voice vote. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. All those opposed vote no. Motion to approve the payment of bills. So moved. Okay.
Your mics. Can you turn your mics on? Thanks.
Okay, sorry about that.
We need a second.
Second.
Thank you. Voice vote, all those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
All those opposed vote no. Motion carries. Secretary, if you can introduce the next item.
In accordance with Article 13 of the Frankfort zoning ordinance, BJ's Wholesale Club is requesting approval of a sign package plan on the property located at 4,000 Vanguard Drive. The property is more particularly described as PDA map number 050-00-00-024.02.
Hey, good evening. Jordan Miller, City of Frankfort, Planning and Community Development. So BJ's is a wholesale club. It's an American company located in Marlborough, Massachusetts. It's a membership only like wholesale club similar to Sam's and Costco. They have about 250 locations nationwide. This will be the second in Kentucky. They currently have one in Louisville. It's going to be in the Paddocks development located off of US 127 and 64. So they have a development plan that's been approved through the planning department and through the technical review team. Currently, they're undergoing the building permitting process through the state. The request tonight before you is for a signed package plan, specifically the wall signage, fascia signage for the development. So typically, the area allowed for individual building for fascia signage on one elevation, one side of the wall is 200 square feet. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio for the linear width of the building to how many square feet you get. So like 50 feet width, 50 square feet of signage, up to a max of 200. In this case, we're dealing with a large big box building, right? So it's going to exceed, what they're proposing is exceeding that 200 square feet allowance. Typically, what would be allowed for this without the 200 square feet is 460 square feet per fascia. They are proposing significantly less than that if that were to be allowed. So total, they would be allowed 1,380 square feet for all elevations. They're proposing 652. If you look at the massing of the elevations of the building, it seems to be scaled in proportion, and staff finds that that seems reasonable for what's due to the size of the building and the development. So we're recommending approval with one condition, that you just get a sign permit with us. Happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Commission members, questions for staff? Mrs. Johnson? Ryan? Any questions?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak on the item?
I got one thing I wanted to ask. On allowing this for this new development on these sizes, would older establishments be able to request for larger signage? Because I do hear that sometimes. They're like, they don't know we're here. We'd like to have a little bigger sign.
Sure, yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Okay,
Yeah, they could. Yeah, they could come request the same thing.
And what would their max be, the same, or?
Well, they could ask whatever they wanted and submit a signed package plan application, yeah, to be reviewed by you guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions for staff?
No, I'm good.
Mayor May?
No questions, Mr. Chairman.
Then we need anyone in the audience to speak on behalf of the item. We need a motion to approve or deny the request.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. We need a second.
A second.
Do we need a roll call or just a voice vote? Do we need a full roll call?
Voice vote, but if there is a negative, I would suggest you do a roll call. Thank you, get it clear.
Okay, thank you. Roll call.
Okay. Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. May?
Yes.
Mr. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
Mr. Watts? Chairman Stewart?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, if you can introduce the next item.
In accordance with Article 13 of the Frankfort zoning ordinance, Target is requesting approval of a zone package change on the property located at 3,000 Vanguard Drive. The property is more particularly described as PPA map number 0,000,000-034.01, and this is also.
Thank you, evening commission. Yes, this is a sign package plan very similar to the one you just approved for the Target. As you all know, is under construction out in the paddocks right now, which is directly adjacent to where the new BJ's will be going. Similarly to BJ's, it's a very large-scale building. The square footage of signage that they have asked for, based upon that 1 linear foot of square footage for fascia signage, would fall within that. We're just having some issues with that 200 foot maximum. So, we've reviewed it for what they have based upon the scale of the building, as I said, and staff will recommend approval. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions for staff? Reed?
Nope, good.
Fine, fine. Dan?
No.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak on the item? We need a motion to approve or deny the request.
Make a motion that we approve the request.
Thank you. We'll need a second from Mayor May. And we'll do a roll call.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. May?
Yes.
Mr. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
Mr. Watts?
Yes.
Chairman Stewart?
Yes.
It's unanimous. Public hearing, proposed zoning ordinance text amendment to the Franklin County zoning ordinance to amend section 155.071, zoning map as amendments in section 155.072, zoning map amendments. Commission recommendation regarding zoning amendment.
Good afternoon.
Get swear in when you get questions.
Yeah. Just want to tell me, testimony about the as a treatment.
I do.
Would you state your name for the record
Autumn Gotterwas,
and your position with the County of Franklin?
Director of Planning and Zoning.
As director, did you participate in the proposed zone ordinance text amendment which we're reviewing tonight before the commission?
Yes.
Have you made a recommendation and findings with regard to that?
Yes.
Are there any additions or deletions to your recommendation?
No.
Would you briefly give your opinion with regard to this text amendment?
Yes. So this is a text amendment. This is very similar to something that the commission adopted a few years ago for the city. This allows for the alternate zone change that's provided by KRS 100.2111. This basically does not impact the way that you all make decisions or what you all are doing, but it's sort of whenever the next step occurs after you make a recommendation to the legislative body, in my case, the fiscal court. This helps things move a little bit quicker. Under the current setup, fiscal court has to give 2 readings or hold their own hearing before they accept your recommendation or make a different call. So this would allow for zone changes that are uncontested, that you all have made a recommendation on, and no one is concerned about essentially to become legal through the process of law after 21 days. So it really shaves down the time on those zone changes that are not as controversial, but it does still allow an out for if there is someone who feels aggrieved by your decision or who disagrees with that, or if the members of the fiscal court want to hold a hearing, they still can. So it still has that ability to have that extra layer of review. But again, for those simpler zone changes, it just makes things move a little bit quicker. In your packet, you have a copy of the state statute that allows for this, as well as the redlined zoning ordinance text. This did go to the zoning update committee over the summer, and they were in agreement that this made sense. So we are recommending approval of the text amendment.
Are there any questions for staff? Ms. Swanson? Ryan? Did-
I just want, I mean, it's just, I want to make sure I understand it correctly, but we're just taking it off from something that can be switched in a few weeks to a month versus waiting 3 or 4 months.
Correct. So typically, just as an example, once you all make your recommendation, you vote on a matter, then you accept the meeting minutes the following month. So we wait that month, and when we have the finalized meeting minutes, we take it to the fiscal court. And then if it's something that they don't want to hold a hearing on, they have to have 2 readings. So that's 2 separate meetings that they have to have in order to allow your recommendation to become law. Or they can opt to have their own hearing, which there's another 90-day time clock that starts ticking from the date of your decision at that point. So this just helps me shave off a couple of months.
But it doesn't take us out of the process of it.
No.
We still do the steps.
Right. Yep.
That's it,
Yep.
okay. I thought that's what it said, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure.
Dan, any other questions?
I'm good.
Okay. Tom?
I'm good.
Rick?
Good.
Bob? All right, thank you. Anyone in the audience to speak on the item? And we need a motion to approve or deny the request.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
And second from Mike Nichols. And the motion to deny that. And if we can have a roll call.
Ms. Johnson? Yes. Mr. May?
Yes.
Mr. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Mill?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Mr. Moon?
Yes.
Mr. Watt?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Okay, thank you. And the final 2 items that we need to go over the budget, just take a few minutes, and then I know you all have kind of the update on the code rewrite. So we do need to get the budget approved. You all should have gotten the budget and each one of the. There you go, okay. Eric or Audrey, if y'all can, we'll get a chance to explain the budget. We need to vote on that.
Yeah, you can send a draft budget, which with your friendly local commission secretary help prepare for us. It's typical budget will look very similar to one from last year. The only thing unusual about it from any other budget over the years is that it does include those expenditures for the zoning code rewrite. Other than that, it shows the typical estimated city and county contributions, and then your typical expenses, the audit, any traffic study services, and then obviously, printing, insurance, member training, as well as fees for council. As a reminder on that zoning code rewrite, you'll see that it shows a full $190,000 in the budget, but if you recall correctly, the city and the county are each paying a portion of that, the number which escapes me, and then the commission on each bill is picking up a much smaller portion, which it also escapes me at the moment, but the point of which is to say that the vast majority of the burden of that is not on the commission, is my point.
Ms. Johnson, would you want to start the question?
Yes, does anyone have any questions regarding the budget?
that, let's see, in terms of, so the 190 for the consultants, for the code rewrite, and it was 190,000 that we spent for the 2 years that they were consultants for the 2-year update. So almost 400,000 combined to them,
For both the code update
and the comprehensive plan.
Not 400, no. I think the original scope, and I don't have it in front of me, was 298 or something like that.
For the
So I think
comprehensive-
this kind of just got moved over as a placeholder. But, as I said, I don't think there's 190 left, and certainly not for the commission's portion of the scope. But regardless of the budget, that contracted amount hasn't changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you all had, when we met on Monday, that you, were you wanted to increase the fees? Did you all want it for the, starting next year?
Right, I think next year, we hope to have a draft fee schedule by January, to update our planning and zoning fees. So that is for things that come before you all, but also some other things like plats, that contribute to your budget. Those fees have not been updated in a number of years, and we're pretty cheap compared to the surrounding communities, so we just want to kind of right-size that.
Okay. And you'll have that in January?
We hope to.
Okay. And let's see, I know the other that is a certain unknown with the legal fees, that, and I know the first major legal fee in terms of, from the lawsuit, are you expecting, whatever, how it's decided, are you expecting that's going to get appealed? And
Not necessarily, no. I'm not gonna try to guess what the judge is gonna do in this, but in the case that we're involved in, not the appeal case, but the case we're involved in, the court can only remand it back to us for reconsideration. They can't redo the whole thing. So I don't think there'll be an appeal on that. If they remand it, we'll consider it. If they don't remand it, I don't know whether the plaintiffs will appeal it.
do the plaintiffs have an opportunity? I mean, if they're not satisfied,
Everybody has an opportunity.
I mean, correct. So, do you have a timeline in terms of, are you expecting,
Well, since the briefs are not yet scheduled to be finished, ours is, the plaintiffs have another 15 days to do theirs. Then it'll be submitted to the court, and I would say within 60 days, the court will have something. So within 2 or 3 months, we're gonna know basically what happens with us. Now, the other option that's available is if they join our lawsuit with the other appeal and consolidate the 2 cases, then we're getting drugged along with them, and I don't know how much longer we do that. But once again, that's the court's determination. We don't get a choice in that.
I know we received the lawsuit that we were named, I know along with fiscal court and others on the 21st, and had that 20-day reply. How is that?
I am not the attorney representing that. The insurance carrier has provided counsel for that, so I can't really tell you what they've done in that case.
Okay.
I know that they asked for an extension of time. I don't know for how long, but that's the only involvement I've had.
Okay. All right. Are there further questions that we shall have? And I know that I talked with Cindy in terms of, I know the expected bills between the consultants and the legal. If they need to get additional money, I know you all mentioned, Eric and Autumn, is it split? If it's, say it's legal and need additional money, it's split 50-50 between the city and the county?
Typically, when we've had to invoice the city and the county for additional funds for anything, including any legal fees, it's typically shared 50-50.
Okay.
And those funds are taken out of just the general budget or one of the line items on?
If we need additional, typically on mine, it comes out of a professional fees line item budget. That's where the planning commission portion of my budget lies, so it'll come out of that until that's, run through at some point, and that would be a budget amendment. I don't expect that to happen. And that's another reason why it's good timing. Even though the commission's budget right now, the cash flow is a little tighter than normal because we have both, the zoning code rewrite, which is a significant, unusual expenditure on top of a lawsuit. So we just have been running a bit tight. Usually, though, we can make things work one way or the other, so.
Are there any other additional questions, or? Okay. If y'all are, if y'all ready.
Entertain a motion for, to accept this budget if everyone is in agreement.
So a motion that we'll need from the Finance Committee, we'll need an official second.
I'll second.
Okay, from Reed. If you get a official roll call.
Okay. Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. May?
Yes.
Mr. Daniel?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Simonis?
Yes.
Mr. Watts?
Yes.
Chairman Stewart?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
All right, thank you. And then the final item on the, if y'all can, update on the code rewrite, how that's going?
Sure. Work continues. I know it's a little bit different, so you guys are kind of, it's not out in public view as much because it's largely between the consultant and staff, but we have our every other week meeting with the consultant team as they're drafting chapter by chapter the new development code, and we're providing feedback and doing research along with them on other codes and examples of things that we want to incorporate. It's going well. We have drafted in one form or another, probably 3/4 of the chapters of the code, which is already quite a bit of stuff. So we're kind of at a point now, and Autumn and I have been talking the last couple weeks about getting to a point where we can think about probably sharing some information with the public, getting drafts that are far enough along, at least of some chapters, to maybe share at the very least with some stakeholders that we engaged at the beginning of the process that are actually familiar with using our existing codes and other codes to get good feedback. We got some good notes before we started drafting, and we want to kind of check back in with some of those people, hopefully. Yeah, we're talking about how and when we can start sharing at least some draft stuff. You don't want to go too early when you're like very preliminary, but we also want to try to be transparent as we go through the process and share it with the public. So we're starting to think about strategizing about how to maybe do that soon.
And are y'all hoping to have it all finished, going to the Planning Commission, Fiscal Court for the final votes, and City Commission this summer or next summer? Or?
Yeah, mid-26 is what we're on the calendar for. The beginning, we got a little bit of a slow start, and the consultant got a little bit behind. I think we've kind of ramped up our momentum since then, so I'm cautiously optimistic we can stick on our timeline. I think once we've worked through each chapter individually and then can look at the whole thing together, I would like to think that we'll push it through a little quicker. Going chapter by chapter makes sense because it's not too much to bite off at one time, but at the same time, it's hard to really feel good about it until you can kind of understand the whole thing together, and it's a lot, particularly, since we're doing both jurisdictions, but excited about it.
Questions for Ms. Johnson?
No, I was just thinking that this will be something that the actual planning and zoning board would probably need a little more training once it's been rewritten to.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, very good.
And we'll try, we've also talked about, as we're introducing the new code to you guys and to the public, to try to, in whatever format that occurs, whether we have any kind of, public open house or anything like that, before it actually comes to you all for approval, to try to create some kind of bulleted points things to point out significant changes that you all should want to be aware of that are different from the existing code, and that folks we want to make sure, don't think we're, sneaking anything in. But at the same time, that won't be, entirely exhaustive because it's an entirely new code. But I know that most people aren't familiar enough with it to read through several hundred pages and get everything that might affect their property, so.
Sounds good. Are there any questions? Or? No. Any questions? All right, Eric, any questions? Okay. Eric, thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, if there's no other business, we need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion
motion to adjourn.
Need a second?
I'll second.
All right.